so excited, and I think I like it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I don't even know the words, but I'm excited because my son is coming home from camp today. Hi, people. I'm excited because my son's coming home from camp today. He has been gone for a month, you guys. And as a single mom, it's really weird to be at home without him. So our theme of the month is adoption from the adoptee perspective. I had an amazing interview this week with Mary. Her IG is Because Adoption. Highly recommend you go follow Because Adoption. I will be having another conversation later this month with another adoptee, so we'll talk about that later. First of all, Mary has an amazing story to tell, and she delivers a story very well. And also it made me really emotional, and I've been thinking a lot about it. I think I may have mentioned last time that my son, for the first time, he was at camp for a month, and for the first time he's somewhere where he can create his own narrative. People don't know me, people don't know what we look like, people don't know he was brought into the family through adoption. It leaves me really curious if it came up in conversation, what his narrative was, if he, feels proud, if he's ashamed, if he has feelings about it, or if I'm making more out of it than it really is for him right now. And when I say right now, I mean developmentally. So I've always been very open with him in telling him his story. And I'm not going to talk, you guys should definitely go back on Instagram and look at my Instagram lives that I keep recorded in that section where you can watch videos, and watch that video because it's really great. But long story short is I'm anxious about words that I now need to start using when I talk to Trey about his adoption that he's old enough to hear me start using. Words like trauma and loss. So ever since that conversation with Mary, it's been weighing on me a lot. It got me talking to a lot of people, and I'm reading a book called The Primal Wound. It's kind of like one of those adoption Bibles. I do highly recommend it. And I've been having discussions and reading about how adoptive parents, or hopeful adoptive parents, really should be learning about trauma parenting. And I've even gone a step further to have conversations with people about how I think it should be mandatory that all hopeful adoptive parents take a class on trauma parenting. It's so important, but the thing is you don't recognize these things when you have a really cute baby at home. It's as things my son just turned 10, and as they get older, to start understanding more and start processing more. Because when I noticed my son started processing his adoption around age 3, then it gets more complicated. And that's where they start maybe feeling and understanding a little bit more about the trauma that they were born into. Things get a little more difficult and more uncomfortable and more complicated. I wish that more hopeful parents would take classes around that theme, trauma and adoption and parenting, yet it's not mandatory. And some states don't even require education, which I think is just a horrible mistake. So if you're in one of those states and that they don't require it for your home study, do it anyways, please. And I'm a broken record that engaging and learning and being part of that conversation and talking with other people does not end when you bring your baby home. And I know some of you are still on your journey to adopting. So I hope this is sinking in a little bit, and I hope this makes you just think about things in a little bit of a different way, maybe from a different viewpoint. And I encourage you to start this month, if you haven't already, really start following some adoptees and listening to what they have to say, because that's important. That's possibly the voice of your future child or children. And so if we can learn things now to show up better for them, or to show up the way they may need us to, that for me is so important. Let's see what happened this week. We had a baby born situation, and then unfortunately complications happened and things didn't go as we all had hoped, and so that didn't work out. That was a bummer. And what a hard decision to make, right? When a family thinks that a situation will be good for them and they go and then find things out that just are not sitting well with them. And it's real, as much as we all as professionals helping to make a match want to see it go through, you have to listen to your gut. This is a lifelong decision. And if something is not feeling right for you, you don't have to commit. We want you to, and we don't want it to just be like, oh, I thought more about it and this doesn't feel right. I mean, it needs to be something substantial, but that's a hard situation. Let's see, what else did we have? I don't think we had any other matches this week. I just got word that another attorney who hasn't been taking clients for a long time was opening, so hopefully that's a sign. I'm finding a little bit more space for hopeful adoptive parents, places for people to sign up, which is amazing. And yet still things are really tight and slow and numbers are way down. I'm just really preoccupied right now. I'm like, is it time to go yet? I better get there on time. I better not get into traffic and all of that stuff. So I'm going to go on the way to the airport, pick up 36 chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A because that's my son's absolute favorite. Might be mine too. They're so good. I'm going to surprise him with some Chick-fil-A in the car. And I set up his whole room. I cleaned up and got rid of old clothes, put in new clothes, and got his desk set for the coming year. I'm really nervous about school starting, and this is the time, it's a new year. A new school year is about to start, which sometimes feels bigger to me now that I have a child, especially that is of school age, than the beginning of a new year. I'm hoping for 24 hours, like we'll both be excited to see each other. I'm hoping it lasts that long, but chances are, let's be realistic. He told my cousin who works at camp that he's only excited to see the dog. I guess that's a confident, self-assured kid right there, and he enjoyed being away, but hopefully he missed me a little bit. All right, see you guys later. Have a good weekend. Bye.